Hey friends, thanks for tuning in. Today I'm going to be explaining a myofascial release technique that can help with your wrists and keeping your wrists and forearms healthy and strong, especially in yoga. That is important, but also many other sports, rock climbing, jiu jitsu, mainly the two that Flo and I do, but many other things. And wrist health is super important. So myofascial release is basically a form of self-massage where you're using different tools or balls or foam rollers to massage out different parts of your body to break up adhesions in your fascial lines. If you're not sure what fascia is, or if all of this is completely new to you and you have no clue what I'm talking about, then I recommend heading over to this other video, which breaks down myofascial release in a little bit more detail. So all you'll need today for this video is a ball. So you could either have a muscle therapy ball, this one that we use, that we travel with and we have with us all the time. We have the link below in the description if you want to get the same one. Otherwise, you can just use any ball that you have around the house, a tennis ball, a lacrosse ball. You'll find something around your house. If not, order the one that we have below and come back to this video in a few days when the ball arrives. So when you're ready and you have the ball, we're gonna meet in a tabletop. So let's just start with the ball under the left hand first. And you're just gonna be in a tabletop position to help support your body. And then you'll just place the ball underneath your left hand and then just start to massage the ball onto your skin, onto your hand. You put a little bit more weight onto the ball and just slowly move around on it. So what we're doing here is we're not only breaking up little micro adhesions in our connective tissue, in our fascial lines of our hands, but we're also just activating the nerves on the skin, which helps reduce inflammation, increases the blood flow, increases the oxygen. So it's really healing on the wrists and the hands, and it might not feel like you're doing much here, but it's just very subtle. You're just activating these nerves, and you're sort of inviting your body to heal. Let's switch it over to the right hand. So you don't have to put a ton of weight onto the ball, but just enough to where maybe you come across certain points where it sort of feels like that good pain, and that's what you're just massaging out, but you're moving pretty slowly. You're not rushing your hand over the ball. You actually try to move slow so that it gives the muscles time to move over the surface area of the ball, so you can go a little bit deeper into that massage. So if you've been practicing yoga for a while and you have wrist pain, then for one, I recommend that you watch the wrist release video that we put out with a bunch of different exercises that you can do specifically for the wrists. But besides that is to just do this with a therapy ball and just roll out, massage out. And again, it might not feel like you're doing much, and it might not happen overnight. It could take a few sessions or even several, but it's just over time your wrists will start to get stronger and healthier. Now let's bring the ball back over to the left side. I'll actually take my bracelets off. And then we're going to be massaging out the forearm. So you're going to come down onto the forearm. You could either keep your fingers spread wide, or you could also make a fist, maybe a little bit of both. See how that feels. And then just roll the ball from the elbow all the way up to the wrist. And if you're leaning too far down, like if this is hard for you to be in this position and also put weight on the ball, Then you can put the ball on top of a few books so that the ball stacks up higher so that you're not leaning down as far. And if you find that you don't really feel much by doing this, or you don't feel like anything is really happening, then you can grab your left wrist with your right hand and just put a little bit of extra weight onto the left arm, and then continue rolling. So of course you can move in any direction, but it's usually better with myofascial to release to go in the same direction as the muscle fibers, or even in most cases it's the same direction as the bones. But of course you can massage in every direction, in every way. So now let's come on to the back side of the forearms. Flip on so the palm of your left hand is now facing up towards the sky. Maybe you try it first here without putting extra weight on it and start to massage out the forearms. Maybe try a fist. Open and close the hand. So this is, as I mentioned earlier, really good to do if you're using your forearms a lot, specifically like rock climbing or any pulling exercises or jiu-jitsu where you're holding on, you're gripping onto the gis, so you're using your forearms quite a bit. It's also in tennis or golfers. So it's really good to massage out the forearm muscles. All right, and let's switch it over to the right arm. So we'll do the inside of the forearm first. And you're just moving slowly. Just explore different movements with the ball, with the hands, maybe make a fist or extend the fingers. When we practice yoga, we usually have the ball just sitting next to us. And then throughout our practice, we can grab the ball and do a little self-massage on different body parts. But the hands and wrists and forearms especially always feels so good at the end of a practice. And again, you're just increasing the blood flow, fostering a good environment for healing. If you want to add that extra weight, you can place the left hand on top of the right. Let's take 10 seconds here, finish it up. So when you're doing these forearm rollouts, the only sort of area that you should not put a ton of weight on is directly on the wrist, just because there's not a lot of muscle tissue there. It's mostly tendons and bones, so it's not really necessary to put a lot of weight directly on the wrist. It's more important to do it on the muscle tissue. Now come on to the back side of that right forearm. So the right palm faces up towards the sky. Again, maybe add a little bit of weight, maybe not. See how it feels. Something that we hear quite often from people that start practicing our classes is that their wrists hurt. And so we usually direct them to do this exercise or just some of those wrist releases. But the wrists will get stronger over time. So it's not abnormal that the wrists are hurting when you're practicing yoga. They will get stronger. There's a few tips with the placement of the hands, where's good pain and where's bad pain. But we almost say that in every single video that we teach, to put the weight of the hand on the inside part of the hand, not the outside. So if you're experiencing wrist pain and it's been going on for months and it's not going away, then maybe even shoot us a message or write a comment below and we can help you out, because that's the last thing we want to do, is be doing this practice of yoga that is so healing and then causing more pain and more injury to our body. Last few seconds here. Beautiful job. So now that you know a little bit more about myofascial release, now you can take this therapy ball and do a little self-massage, make your body feel just a little bit more at ease, less tension, and less adhesions in your fascial lines. Thank you so much for joining me for this video, and hopefully you already feel a little bit of a difference in the forearms, the wrists, the hands. Keep it up, comment below if you have questions. Please subscribe to our video, to our channel, especially if you've been watching for a while and you've just been viewing from the sidelines. Then please hit that subscribe button, follow us, share it with your friends and family. We really appreciate your support. We'll continue pumping out lots of videos. Thanks so much, yogis. Namaste.